Hey guys, so this is probably one of the cooler ones that he's got me to do because this is all about um, how to show some love in everything that we do. And, there are some cool passages because there's a couple things that came to mind, and so I had to like look them up. But then there was other ones that I just kept coming along with, and so we gonna see where this goes. I'm excited. Um, Doing all things out of love is the best thing. um, because what was cool was yesterday. It was showing whenever my dad actually, um, since my mom is uh, ending up doing something, so she's not here. I'm ending up was he's like, hey, can you do the watering up the plants? And so I'm like, sure. And so I ended up doing the, um, several of the plants being watered, and so it was the coolest thing where it just reminded me of Adam and Eve and God whenever he first created humans, before the enemy ever came in. They just, were being and, just doing things out of complete love for each other. And that mutual respect. And it is so cool because I've been trying also to make sure that I get these dishes done sooner because I definitely need to do better with that. And so I've been trying to do things lovingly. It all just is super cool because one who was doing was John 15:9-17. All right, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remains in his love. I told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. My covenant or command, in this case, is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he lays down his life for his friends. And again, his love is, unconditional, but even does say, if you love me, you will keep my commands, because it's that respect. It's that knowing that whenever he's your parent, then you're going to naturally respect him when we draw closer to him. And so this last phrase, greater love has no one than this, that he lays down his life for his friends. We were, my parents and I were watching the House of David, and all of a sudden the scene with David, even though his mom was saying, hey, don't go outside of this fence or something, he kept going onto the fence, and what did he meet but a lion? And then, even though his mom wasn't happy that he didn't listen, because he definitely could have gotten hurt, but she ended up using herself as a distraction to get him to leave that area, so that way she could lay down her life instead of having her son to do it, to get killed. And so it is super awesome, that mother's love, that father's love. No, we're not perfect, but there's some really amazing stuff like that. And so I no longer call you You're my friends if you do what I command, and no longer call you servants, because a servant doesn't know his master's business. Instead, I've called you my friends, for everything that I've learned from my Father I have made known to you. You didn't choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit. Definitely, for his name, because it's definitely better than anything else. Fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. That is my command. Love each other. No, it's not going to be the way you think. No, he may not do things the way we think. But again, his thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. But you got to know, yes, that when you're his child, when you're sincere, and, you at least try and do better to coming back to him and his commands, then, he's going to be faithful to you. As soon as we continue to become faithful to him. Then we got 1 Corinthians 13, 1 to 3 is the first one, and then from 4 to 7 is the last one. Love's the greatest gift. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have no love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. And this is kind of the, spiritual gift of tongues is kind of going to be starting to talk about. But it says, I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge. And I have the faith that can move mountains, but have no love, I am nothing. If I give all the possessions to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have no love, I gain nothing. If we don't do it out of love and we feel like we do it out of obligation, it's not, no, what's the point of doing it if you don't do it out of your own, free will of doing it? and so it's just amazing. And then the qualities of love. Love is patient, love is kind, it doesn't envy, it doesn't boast, it's not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no records of right or wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. These are just awesome. There's Ephesians 3:14-19. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom his whole family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with the power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. For keeping his commands. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together, that you may have power together with all the saints to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you will be filled with the measure of all the fullness of God. He's, and everything he did, he was obeying his Father. That is the main thing, that he was doing this, out of love for us, but definitely for his, Father, and that he does in fact care about us. And so he drew me to 1 John 5, 2-5. Loving God requires obedience. This is how we know that we love the children of God, by loving God and carrying out his commands. This is the love for God, to obey his commands, and his commands are not burdensome, for everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world? Only he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. Oh my gosh. Love is definitely a beautiful thing. And, when we keep his commands, you never know where he's going to point us to, where he's going to have us help people. And yes, we are going to get so much more enjoyment and meaning out of life. And there's just all sorts of, things that are super, super cool. And so, again, just continuing to work on this together and doing anything, because if we try and force things, then it's not really love. You know, you have to, you know, it's got to be a mutual love and respect for those things. Otherwise, you know, it's just, it's not going to work, and that's not, you know, how we're supposed to be doing things. And I absolutely love it. All right, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. But hear from you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in this video.